Hey y'all, Fliz here. Before we get started, I just wanted to slap a little content warning in here. Today's subject involves a lot of things you might find inappropriate for a younger audience. We say a lot of words that would get demonetized on YouTube. We say a lot of words that would be found in an episode of Law & Order SVU, but that's just the subject matter of today's discussion. It's about censorship and adult games, and it would feel weird to have this conversation and censor the words we say. So nothing too gratuitous, but if you don't like strong language, then only listen to the first half hour and skip the rest. But hopefully you don't mind too much. These are things that need to be talked about, and so that's what we're doing today. Anyways, if y'all are okay with that, then enjoy. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
I was looking into the Pico 8, which is like a game engine, right? It's kind of cute, where it's like this purposely limited game engine where there's a bunch of stuff you cannot do in it. It has like limited lines of code you can do. The screen size is 128 by 128, right? The idea is that was what I was playing in the Discord earlier.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah. The idea is you create this game engine that can do everything. Like you can make music in it, you can draw in it, but it is so limited to let you use your creativity to make really cool projects really fast, right?
Oh, like Minecraft.
Yeah, pretty well. Minecraft, there's a lot behind Minecraft, but yeah, like that's the idea.
Yeah,
and it has some cool things about it. One thing that's really neat, right, is it takes inspiration from like old retro games. You know how like game cartridges, right?
Yeah.
The way you share the game is you play the game and you press like I think it's F7 to make a screenshot of your game, and it will create a PNG file, like literally an image of whatever you're looking at, surrounded by like a border of like a cartridge. Like it's just a picture. That picture is literally the game. Like you can send that picture to someone, they can load it onto the website and it will start the game. That is your cartridge that you give out to people.
That's wild.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
It's super cool. And I've just been like looking at like what people can actually make in it. And like someone made Warcraft in it and Pico Craft, and it's actually so cool. It's such a cool project.
I don't really understand how that works.
It's a type of coding. I think it's called like steganography or stepanography or something similar. You can Google it. But basically, what it does is it hides the code inside the pixels of the image. It slightly changes the image to where like the human eye can't tell the difference, but an actual program can tell like, oh, this is supposed to be, you know, this code right here. And that's just how it works. And because it's such a small, like actual system, that's how they can fit the entire game inside just a simple PNG file.
That's cool.
It is.
And it's all like shared content, I guess.
Yep. It actually has an in-engine, like shareable search engine where you can look up games made by other people. And one thing about it too is because it's all like in system, whatever game you load, you can pull up the source code for, and you can change it and edit it yourself too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Isn't it cool?
That is cool. Sharing is cool. Speaking of things you should share, welcome to episode 57 of the Giant Enemy Crab podcast. I'm your host, Fliz. We're here to talk about gaming news. We're going to try and stay away from slop today. I've had enough. I've had enough of pirate software for one lifetime.
No.
I'm joined here by my wonderful crewmates, KylarEmiya.
Hello.
And Strider One.
Hello.
How you gentlemen doing today?
My phone broke.
Yeah, his phone broke. I'm doing okay. I feel better now that his phone broke.
Fuck you.
You know, that's like watching reality TV. Sometimes you're like, hey, maybe my life's not so bad.
At least I'm not that guy.
You just made fun of me last time for being colorblind.
No, that's not real. That's fake. Only 20 people saw that. How'd you break your phone?
Literally started my shift today. I'm reading some Kindle story, put it away, went to take it out for my break. Screen doesn't turn back on.
The story was too spicy. Couldn't handle it.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
You gotta read more vanilla stuff.
Yeah.
Stop reading all that weird stuff. Break your phone.
I was reading like sci-fi horror stories.
Oh, see, well, there you go. You gotta read like Redwall. I don't know. What's a regular book? I was thinking about that the other day. I only read horror. Like that's the only novels I've ever been able to sit through, regardless of what kind. It's always got to be horror. Maybe like a detective, like a mystery. I can do a mystery or a horror, but like, do people just read like regular books about regular stuff?
So,
yeah.
I mean, I've in response to your question, I searched regular book, right, to see what Google would give me. And it gave me regular, the ultimate guide to taming unruly bowels and achieving inner peace. And it's just a picture of toilet paper for the cover.
That's the book we need. How to be regular.
There's the regular book.
I was just like, what is a story without like horror or mystery elements? It seems like a boring thing. I guess romance, but I don't know anything about that.
Also, books like traditionally weren't used to just tell stories either. They're also used to just like share and pass down knowledge. That was like their original like intended purpose. Or receipts. Receipts is also a thing. You guys ever hear that story of that one? Was it Mesopotamian era? Or no, it was like in the era of Gilgamesh. There was just some guy who was just like such a douche. He would just like rip people off. He'd like sell like bad copper and stuff. And they have been finding like tablets of like receipts they got from the guy that other people had. And I guess they found his house where he was just collecting them under like how much of like he was scamming people. He would like use them as trophies. Oh, you can look him up too. I forget his name. I'll have to find it.
The world's first scammer.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like 6,000 years old.
Dear Gilgamesh, I hope this letter finds you in good health.
He would like sell houses he never owned to people.
Oh yeah, they were doing the same thing. That's that you've heard the phrase, "I've got a bridge to sell you if you believe that."
Yeah,
because that happened. There was a guy who would like go around and sell property he didn't own to people who didn't know better.
Oh my gosh, it's great.
Anyway, video games or gaming in general. What you got for us today, Kyler?
Ooh, so a quick update on Stop Killing Games. There was recently a anonymous transparency complaint submitted to the European Citizens Initiative. This is very interesting because this complaint, we don't know who submitted it. No idea who, but they are making a false no funding declaration. So the actual initiative basically says that there is no source of funding, and there's also no major contribution has been made by anyone for this initiative. And this complaint is saying that's not true. And it's pointing at Ross, saying he is the funder of this initiative. He funds all of this, and you guys have not been showing the receipts of all the money you've been paying him as a professional consultant. This is all false, and this should be terminated. So Ross made a video saying, "What are you guys talking about? No one's ever paid me."
Yeah, that was one of his main things in the original video that blew up. He's like, I don't like make money from this. I specifically didn't start a GoFundMe or anything because I didn't want to get in trouble for this exact kind of stuff.
Yeah. And it's wild because if you read this complaint, they're literally just making up numbers. Like they're just making up how often he works. They're making up how much money he's supposedly making. They're saying he has made a minimum $63,000 to $147,000.
From what?
Exactly.
Where would that money come from?
What a range too.
Yeah. And Ross is like, I have never made that much money in a year in my entire life. So yeah, this is strange. This is a very strange thing, and it's very specific too. Like someone spent time to make this. I don't know where this came from. Like I said, this is completely anonymous. So we don't know who submitted it. I mean, we can make some pretty good guesses on where this is coming from, but no official source.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of chatter from game companies all of a sudden,
Yeah.
basically fighting back, or at the very least saying things along the lines of, well, this is an issue and we'll look into it. Like, people are talking about it. Big companies are listening right now, and I would assume covering their ass the best way they can. I know there's been some changes to EULAs. I can't remember which one specifically, but there have been things that are noticeably happening because of this movement. So I can only imagine that it's maybe some of these companies, some bad actors.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a threat, definitely. So from what Russ's video, he's basically said, like, none of this is true. We've done everything like above board. My name isn't even on the initiative, is what he said, which if you look at it, it's true. It's not. So yeah, as far as we know, like, it's still good to go. The results for the signatures are going to come out next week. So hopefully we'll know that this is good to actually get a meeting from, but we'll have to see.
Next week?
I think so, right?
Because it ends on the 31st, right? Next Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday. So, and I don't know like how long it takes to tally it. So maybe
I thought it was like almost a week. Like, it took about a week from once an initiative closes.
That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know how long it takes for them to
That's
tally.
why I would think
so,
it would be
so
the
maybe
week
in
after.
a couple weeks then.
Yeah, I would think it would be the week after is what I think, because I think it takes 5 to 7 days is the number I remember. But I could also be misremembering.
Okay, so in a couple weeks we'll have the numbers, and hopefully it runs okay. We'll have to see. I'm nervous.
I don't think we mentioned it before in an episode, but there are politicians, prominent politicians that are, or at least one who is a vice president of the European Parliament.
Yes, I did mention him.
Nikolai. I don't know if that was in the episode or if that was in something we recorded and didn't put up, but what is it? Nikolai Stefanuta?
You know, I had to look up how to pronounce that name, and I don't remember how to pronounce it anymore. Yeah, we did talk about it though. Yeah, that was in a previous episode. But he has signed the initiative and also voiced his public support for it. So hopefully other people will join too.
Beautiful.
Other than that, I did have some other Dungeons and Dragons news. Have you guys? Have you guys ever heard of D&D in a castle? Ever hear that?
No.
So D&D,
what's that?
It's a kind of like vacation like esque event that you can sign up for, where basically you can go to like a castle either in the US or they're in the UK or something, and they it's like an overnight thing, usually like 2 to 3 days, where you stay at that castle and they have like a professional dungeon master that you stay with to run a campaign with. So you'll like literally stay there, and like they'll stay at the castle. They have like a professional there, and you'll play D&D for like 3 days straight. Like, that's just what you do.
Oh, that's, I mean, just first off, apparently there's a lot of actual castles in the US.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot. They're like real castles.
Yeah.
What the okay.
It's really cool. It's all like professionally done. So they'll have like huge sets of things. Like usually the DM will either like dress up, and they encourage you to do the same. Like, is a major kind of event to sign up for. It's very expensive to do as well. And they usually sell out very quickly.
No, that's awesome. Because I would assume that, you know, man, that's got to be like the mecca for like a really hardcore D&D player.
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Do.
Especially because like some of the people they get sometimes are like the ones that are writing some of the adventures too, like the official ones. So some of the people that you'll get are definitely been doing this for like years and years and years. It's very well done. But next year they're announcing a new thing that they're doing. And Fliz, I thought this might interest you because I know you've shown interest in it. There's going to be an officially licensed D&D Dungeon Master University is going to be accepting students if you want to learn how to become a dungeon master.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things, man. D&D is like in this really weird place for me, where it looks, the idea of it is extremely appealing to me. In action, I'm like negative. I want to like it, and then I watch other people play, or I play myself, and it just doesn't click with me. So maybe I just haven't found the right kind of D&D to get into.
Yeah, there's tons of different like tabletop games and everything that you could always try to, not just D&D. There's at least one thing out there that you'll really enjoy. It just might not be Dungeons and Dragons.
I think it's more like the ratio of RPing to playing.
Mm-hmm.
I need to find something that I really find. Holy shit, these are $2,000.
Yep. Yeah. People love them.
A game that like classically is for people to play who aren't spending a lot of money. It costs $2,000 for one of these D&D castle trips.
And that's what I was going to say, because the prices for the D&D University are also up there. It is expensive.
Oh no, I'd rather just be bad at D&D for a long time. No thanks.
Yeah, it seems kind of like almost like I can see the value in it, but also seems kind of silly because like from where I'm at, like you could learn how to be a good dungeon master from just all the videos and like books that are available online everywhere. Like you could just learn it all for free.
Yeah, I think, there's some stuff like you could just learn that off of YouTube, and it might be a little difficult, and maybe you won't get exactly what you need, but you're basically playing pretend. So like you should be able to pick up how to do that from some YouTube videos and not spend $2,000.
Yeah. Enough time and like enough reviewing these videos to make sure you're kind of following like their ethos, like will get you really far.
Oh yeah, and your players will let you know that you're bad too. Like if you need to change some stuff, like people take it seriously.
Yeah. What's interesting, and I think why someone would actually be interested in doing this is because this is definitely for people who are like want to get into this professionally. Like this is not like you're not really sure how to DM and you kind of want to learn from someone. Well, no, this is like you've been doing this for 20 years and you want to learn how to become a professional at it and do this for a living. That's what this is for. You know what I mean?
Quick question, like what does professional D&D look like aside from you have a popular YouTube channel?
Professional D&D is exactly what it sounds like, where you become someone that people will pay you to DM their games.
Oh, okay. I almost told you about that. I was listening to somebody talk about it, and there's sites where basically it's like Fiverr for DMs.
Yes. Yeah. DMing is so rare that people will pay money for you to DM. Like they will do that. And I've seen multiple different like pricing on how this works. Some people will just say, $20 a player and I'll DM your game. And then you just tell me what we want to play and that's it. Go ahead.
I feel like that's such a, like you would like, I know I said it's just playing pretend, but you'd have to be really good to get like 4 random people from the internet and make 20 hours work. Like that's a crazy amount of, especially with the horror stories I've been listening to lately. Yeah. I've been hooked on D&D horror stories the past week.
They're great. Yeah, they're addicting to listen to.
Some D&D folk are really special.
Yeah, and one thing and why it can be appealing to hire like a professional is you get to see reviews and just like know like, okay, this is someone that's not going to be really weird. You know what I mean? Because that can happen. And then I've seen even pricing models where some people are just super basic, like just $20 per player, we're good. And others are like, if you pay me $20, we'll add this magic item or we can homebrew something. $50, I'll add like this anime twist to it and we can add whatever anime you want. And they'll do like some weird microtransaction thing too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. And people do it.
Microtransactions in D&D?
Yeah. Yep. That totally
seems to
a thing.
Go against it. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah. And people will, I've I've seen it. I've seen
I'm sure I do. Yeah, people spend money on whatever their hobby is. There's people out there who are whales for that hobby.
Yeah, here's the there's a Discord I'm part of, and I'm not gonna say which one this is, obviously. A side quest, $30 with XP times 3 and 3 times drops, or you can get a summon, a tier 3 summon for $65, or I'll add this boss for $65.
It's wild to me. I think because it's not standardized, really. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
also pretend.
I can just make up a level whatever character for a game, and like, as long as they are cool with it, like that's that. Something's not clicking for me.
Yeah, but there's definitely an audience for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're interested in becoming like a actual professional, like you can get your name out there, people will look to hire you, and you may have to, actually you might get invited to like Gen Con to represent certain tabletop games. This seems like the go-to path, like an easier way to actually get your foot in the door. Definitely not for like, my first campaign is in 2 weeks. I should sign up for Dungeon Master University.
Well, here's the thing is there's going to be people who have the money and not the experience who are like, oh, I can just, spend 2K here and it's fine. And I'll just learn. And those people will be there. I guarantee it. It's not just going to be like for the professional-ish people only.
Yeah. I'm just not sure if it's, if that should be what they're doing, but who knows? Honestly, like the people that they have listed here that are going to be there are really good DMs. Like just one of them, like Keith Baker, is the creator of Eberron, which Eberron is a D&D setting that added so much to the game. Everyone loves Eberron. It's the one that added like a bunch of the Warforged and the Artificers. Like people love it. So just having Keith Baker alone is like a huge thing for it. So yeah, if that's something that you might be interested in, that is going to be January 2026. I believe it's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. Yep. So yeah, that is something that you can sign up for.
Is that at the D&D in a castle?
That's separate. This is specifically for Dungeon Master University. If you were interested in D&D in a castle, there is still an event September 25th that you can sign up for on Clearwater, Minnesota. A couple of them are. There's still one that is not sold out.
Okay.
Yeah. But
dang, 20-hour D&D campaign, all meals cooked with your host, room accommodations.
Yeah,
rooms are shared. It's share a bedroom, but not a bed with one of your fellow vacationers. No, you get transportation to the airport.
Yeah, it is a full thing. So, man, that's all I had.
That's kind of cool. If I wish I liked something as much as people like D&D. All right. Well, thank you. Yeah, if you're interested, check that out. Moving on, our main topic of the day is concerning a recent issue with Steam and the limitation of some of the games on there, and also itch.io as well. So I think I'm going to turn it over to Jacob. You have the most information. What's the deal?
So I'm going to break this down into 4 parts to start with, because they all relate to each other in different ways. Big issue is that there's a bunch of things got pulled off of Steam and itch.io is the main thing. The group responsible for this is twofold. It's the group Collective Shout, which is an Australian grassroots campaign movement against the objectification of women and the sexualization of girls. That is off their own page. And it's also about Visa and Mastercard. They're also very important here.
Yeah, it's twofold. He said so.
They go hand in hand.
Here. Well, because I just wanted to say, when I first heard about this, you'd think like, hey, they pulled a bunch of games off of Steam that contained rape and incest, and I'm like, cool. And then you guys are like, well, not really, because there's a whole situation here with censorship and money that we need to talk about.
Yep, which we'll get into it. So I want to talk about Collective Shout first, because they kind of relate to everything else. They are the driving force behind the recent censorship in Steam Steam and itch.io. And they did that by sending letters to the payment services and campaigning against them. Because on the 11th of July this year, they sent a letter to the CEOs behind PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, PaySafe, Discover, and JCB. And not only did they have like their own thing, they have backings from others, major censorship-prone organizations. Big ones, to name some, are National Center on Sexual Exploitation, Exodius Cry, and the anti-porn groups Cease and Coalition Against Trafficking. And these groups, because the letter they sent had basically signatures from executives from all of these groups. And its allies are important because their allies have gone over after games on Steam before, trying to get them removed from the platform. Big one is Exodius Cry, has tried to argue that video games, like searching for video games, Fortnite and Pokemon, has led to children to graphic sexual content just by searching those in search engines. Exodius Cry was the one who was responsible for the huge crackdown that happened on Pornhub in 2020, which resulted in significant changes to the online platform. The important thing is that Collective Shout has gone over after games before, and it's not just adult games. In 2018, they tried to get Detroit Become Human banned from being sold in Australia due to it depicting child abuse and violence against women.
From what I understand, though, like that game, I've never played it, but like it's not like glorifying those things.
No, it's so from what it is that it's the violence in question is against an android, a woman, and a child who turns out to be an android later in the game. It's revealed later, but
spoilers.
I mean, I have to kind of spoil it to talk about it here.
That's fair. That's fair.
But because I haven't played it myself, so I don't know too much. But the important other thing is that like it's not glorified. The character that does it is like the game doesn't say he's a good person or anything. Like you're supposed to sympathize with the people being abused,
as one should.
Yeah, because it's not glorifying it. But they've tried to say that it shouldn't be sold in Australia because it glorifies this. It's just been like purposely misleading.
Yeah. And if y'all don't know, Australia is really big on censorship in general. Like there's a lot of things you can do in the US that you just can't do in Australia. I think I recently just saw somebody, Noam Watley. I saw a post from him on Twitter where he's in Australia and he suddenly can't like access certain parts of his own Discord server without verifying his own age. Like it's a little wonky. So yeah, continue. Sorry, Australia is just like that though now.
There's a lot of censorship because they had the whole online thing, right? Where you had to verify your age to access the internet, right?
Yeah, well, and it's like some of it is warranted. Like they had that huge mass shooting 20, 30 years ago and they banned all guns, and guess what? No more mass shootings. Like some of it works. So I think they use that a lot to move forward with other censorship, but there's a lot of bans in Australia.
You can point to this and say this was effective because it just a heavy arm approach, for better or for worse.
Exactly. Yeah.
So and then in 2014, they tried to get Target, which I think they were successful at.
They were.
To stop selling GTA 5, right? Yep. From store shelves, stating that the game encourages players to commit sexual violence and kill women was the reason why they want it removed.
I mean, you do that,
but there's a lot more you do.
There's been studies on whether video games causes violence and all these other things, and everything is pointing to no, they don't.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, there is no confirmable link between them.
Absolutely. And it's, we've seen this time and time again where something happens and then video games or music or a movie is used as a scapegoat for what in reality is probably serious mental health issues and poor home life situations, So I don't think it's ever directly shown that this is connected to Call of Duty when somebody does something super unacceptable.
There's an article that becomes very important that we'll talk about from Vice. But in that because the article talks about like Collective Shout and what they've done, and like about the censorship on Steam and itch.io we'll get to. But there's a quote I want to use here where they also, from that article, Collective Shout states that GTA 5 lets people enact their fantasies of committing extreme violence against women, including punching women to the point of unconsciousness, killing them with a bat, gun, or machete, running them down with a car, and setting them on fire as they continue screaming.
But that's not gender specific.
It's not gender specific. That's very, and like the article also points out that like by this metric, the person most likely that like the most common characters this is going to happen to is male police officers.
Yeah, it's more against cops than anything else.
Like the article mentions that. And then in addition to the letters they sent, they've also filed roughly, I think there was a number on one of the articles that was, I believe it was 1,067 phone calls to lobby MasterCard and Visa to make changes in their policy.
Dang.
Was cited by Steam and is almost certainly the same reason for itch on why they changed their guidelines for adult content that we'll get to. But and then the other things Collective Shout has done is that's not specifically game related, just to give more of an idea of like what the group is behind, is they tried to ban Snoop Dogg and Eminem from Australia. That was unsuccessful.
Yeah, I saw they tried to ban Tyler the Creator as well. All of them for
that
lyrics.
Was successful.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Really?
I heard that I read they were successful, so they prevented Tyler because it's the same year that they did the Target and Kmart to stop selling GTA 5 in Australia. They had a petition to ban the game No Mercy from sale, which ultimately let the developers pull it from Steam. And then the unsuccessful petition to ban Detroit Become Human from sale in Australia.
Like WWF No Mercy, or like.
No, an adult.
Oh, never mind. This is a different one.
Yeah, bad adult game, like very NSFW.
Oh no!
The low hanging fruit that's easy to go after, very much.
Yeah, like what was that game that was Hatred? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah,
everybody was talking about that one.
My name is not important.
Yeah, the edgy edgelord murder fest.
It's like he's literally credited as not unimportant is his name in the game, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, yuck. Sorry, continue.
But so Collective Shout ends up getting Steam and itch.io, like a bunch of stuff removed. And then it's reported on, it's Steam specifically that's reported on because this article happens before itch.io does their whole ban. But I want to talk about the Vice article now, is that reporter by the /writer at Anna Valens wrote an article on Collective Shout on Vice under their Waypoint, which is their gaming branch, and they talked about the censorship on Steam and how Collective Shout said they were responsible for it and took credit. And then they go into some details about Collective Shout, which is where I got some of this information from, and they asked Collective Shout to give it a list on which Steam games that per the organization depict child abuse. They never got the list. It goes into detail about talking about Detroit Become Human, stating that it would be impossible for Steam to host any adult. If they ban Detroit Become Human for this, that means any game which has an M rating or higher would not be allowed to depict child abuse in any capacity, like whatsoever, if Detroit Become Human would be banned. So you couldn't have that as like any subject matter in any capacity.
It's and you know, I don't know how you guys feel, but personally, like, sure, there's games out there that are like No Mercy. After looking it up, yeah, that shouldn't be anywhere, right? Like that should go away. But when you're trying to tell a story and you're trying to include real world issues for especially when it comes to creating art in games and books, this kind of censorship is very problematic.
The hard part of censorship is, where do you draw the line? Who gets to decide that?
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, I'm sure yeah, I don't, they seem to have a very hard line with they don't want anything. This is a bit much.
They're like, I've always been like against censorship, but I can see where the argument is. There was one game on Steam I saw that was like, this isn't even a game. This is just disgusting. And it actually made me, made me want to turn the filter on just to not see it again. It was so horrible. I'm glad I don't even remember the name of it because I don't even want to see it again.
Well, like I was listening to somebody earlier who was kind of talking about this subject, and he had he was under the mindset that like, well, nobody real is getting hurt, so it should be fine. It's just art, and I'm like, I don't even know about that. Like,
no,
there's some stuff that's like way too gratuitous, and it belongs nowhere. You know, it's not. It doesn't bring anything of value to the art world or society in general. This is just malicious.
Yeah, like there's some games that feature that kind of content for a reason. It's because they're trying to either tell a specific story, bring light to some kind of, like some kind of like societal or political issue. Like there's a reason behind it for some of these games. Some stuff is just disgusting. Like there's no point to this beyond what it is.
Yeah, it's made by somebody who this is their fetish, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my God,
more likely than not.
Oh, I'm remembering that game now. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Dude, it was.
I'll talk to you about it later because there's a couple. I remember going through banned games on Steam or when I couldn't stream on Twitch, and I was like, okay, why can't I stream this one? I'd look it up and be like, oh, there's a lot of them. So we don't need to talk about them here, but
yeah, I reported it, and like I never do that. Like it was so bad. But to go on, like I can see where they're coming from for some of the stuff. The problem is when you cast that wide net on everything and just forgo the reasoning that some of these are here for a reason because they are expressionist in nature. Like they're served as a purpose. Like it is a tool, not so much you're using that just to put it on there.
Yeah, I think Strider, you were gonna talk about some of the titles that got caught in the crossfire, I guess, because I remember hearing a few of them where I was like, yeah, no, these two things are not alike. I remember some of the titles were like looped in would be like Saving Private Ryan and Schindler's List and like stuff that's telling an actual story about the horrors of the situation. So stuff needs to be depicted, but under collective shouts watch, this kind of stuff would be banned because it's glorifying these situations when it's not. No, it's not that at all.
It's trying to teach you the horrors of war. Like it's like that to show you how horrible it is. Like that's what it's trying to tell you and why this is like so bad, as just as an example. It's not trying to glorify or just like make it seem greater than what it is.
Yeah, because I know I was reading that one game that got caught in this was an Ace Attorney style game that had no 18 plus content. I couldn't remember if this was on Steam or Itch, but the reason it got, I think it was Steam, it got caught is because that the game had one achievement that was titled Valeria or whatever the fashions, but it was named after the fashion sense. But that word was apparently part of like if the game included it in any fashion. It seemed to be an auto like takedown, like it was automated, but it was just because that achievement was like the only reason that people could find. But to get back, did you want to go, or am I good to go back to the
no, go for it, because I was gonna look up you probably got it, what happened with cuties.
You can bring that up.
I just don't remember. I didn't know. I thought, because I'm seeing conflicting things where they like endorsed it. If you all know, Cuties was a thing that popped up on Netflix that was like I think it was like about child pageant shows or child dance things.
Yes.
And it was really like gratuitously shot, French director, and people had like immediate problems with it. But I think Collective Shout, I'm seeing here they condemned it, but I also heard that they also wrote like a stellar review of it somewhere. I must be misremembering things.
The official statement from them that I remember I remember seeing a screenshot was that it was an ethically problematic protest against the sexualization of girls, was basically what the account tweeted.
Okay.
And people took that as defending it, and then one of the major people, like leaders, like very high up, stated that that their tweet was something along the lines of, I don't remember exactly, but it's I thought it was problematic until I watched it. And then, like, apparently it was like a bunch of tweets after that, but that was the only part that I saw.
Yeah, I never saw the film, but that's what I heard is like maybe it is about like that subject, but also like it's a lot of filming children in problematic situations, I guess, which you don't have to do that. Like, anyway, sorry, go.
Okay, yep. So to get back to the Vice article, it also mentions the attempt to ban GTA 5. And so all of this happens, the article goes out, right? And then the article is taken down by the owner company behind Vice. They requested a takedown because the articles about collective shout were controversial, and it has been since taken down. And because of this, Anna Valens and a few other people in solidarity with her have quit Vice. But basically, that entire article got taken down in like the day after, like not even a full day after.
Oh, jeez.
Because basically, like their owner company said, we don't want the controversy with this. But to get into Steam and itch.io, first getting into Steam. Steam recently removed a large number of sexually explicit games, and now is holding has written like quote unquote stricter guidelines, which are slightly a problem, which we'll get into, because the guidelines forbid content that might violate the rules and standards set forth by Steam's payment process and related card networks and banks or internet network providers. So they don't exactly state what the problems are, like what you have to do. You just have to hope that you follow like by whatever MasterCard and Visa want.
Oh.
Because if Visa and MasterCard say they don't want your content, you can't sell it. And Steam will remove your game.
I feel like this is in that same realm as kind of like the problems you had at initial glance with Stop Killing Games, where it's not solid enough.
Yeah,
like the rule, like this can be interpreted many ways and used as a weapon against anybody it needs to be used against.
It's a cudgel now that can be used in any way.
Yeah, and so like you said, you've set the precedent.
Yep, you've gotten your foot in the door. We are on the slippery slope of like what are they going to target next? Because new rule was coincided with Steam removing a significant number of incest based adult games from Steam storefront. Like people are checking the Steam database, and basically a bunch of them were all related with this as their theme. But not all. And there's even publishers on the storefront which had games removed that still have some of their games up, which are incest based adult games as a theme, but they're still up. So it's not even like all of them were removed, but like only some of a publisher's games might have been removed.
It's such a hard stance to be like, I gotta defend these incest based games. Cause like, I don't defend. They shouldn't have been on Steam in the first place. Like, I don't care if that's somebody's specific fetish. Stop it. That doesn't need to be there. And it kind of ruins it for everything. So like, okay. Do y'all remember that game? Is it 12 minutes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Big spoilers for 12 minutes. But at the end, you find out, I'll give you a second in case you never played it. I really enjoyed it, but a lot of people got to the end and went, ugh. But according to this, that should be banned because you find out that like this person is like your sister or something, and you've been brainwashed, or I can't remember, but there's incest within the story, but it's not about the incest. I guess it's just like a mystery.
The story happens to include it.
The story, well, it's because it's a big part of the story, but it's not.
It's a plot point.
It's a plot point, but it's you never see anything. Like it's not gratuitous in any fashion. It's a I don't know. It's literally part of the story, and I really enjoyed my playthrough of that game. But according to Collective Shout, that kind of stuff should be banned because of these other people who have put out this fetishized content, which is that's what we were talking about earlier, where there's art and then there's this other weird shit that I just can't get behind.
For the story of 12 minutes, it's because he falls in love with the woman, not knowing that it's his half sister. And
Exactly.
yeah,
But
yeah.
still technically incest and still should be gone according to these people.
Yep. And then to get back to Steam, Valve did not clarify what specifically the problems with these games that were removed are. This is just what people have guessed, just based on what they are, like similar things shared. And then the article that this is on worries this is going to spiral out to target other things that a group wouldn't want. And it specifically quotes queer creators in games of all stripes, which will become almost foreshadowing where we get to moving into itch. So about 3 days after, I want to say it is, after Steam bans these games, itch.io shadow bans all games from that were tagged with NSFW, adult, or erotic, so that their games don't show up in search results, discovery pages, or even the individual pages of the authors. Most shadow ban things can still be accessed by a direct link. It's for some of these, removing the NSFW tags might remove. There were reports of it unshadow banning your work just by removing those tags. So most likely automatic. Not only were most things shadow banned, there's even multiple games that are 18 games that were just straight up removed with no warning.
I feel like this is just going to lead to people releasing games that are this, but they're just not going to tag it. So now you're just going to buy a game and be like, whoa, I'm like, hold on.
Yep. And this was confirmed by itch.io to be due to MasterCard at / Visa asking for it to be removed.
Oh, God.
And then there's also the fact that multiple the article on the about itch.io, which was from the Trans Feminine Review, noted that multiple novels by trans feminine authors have been outright removed from the platform with no warning.
And this group, in case you didn't realize, Collective Shout is, I mean, not you, I know you know, but like they're this is all under like the guise of Christian moral right situation.
Yes, they're a very right conservative Christian group.
But they also, some of the members, I believe, are also members of parliament in Australia. So this is why they have so much power as a non-profit and seem to get things done.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because also their allies in those similar groups, I believe, also have a bunch of members of government. Because I think, for example, one of the UK groups has some members that are pretty high up. The guidelines on itch.io were not updated at the time the crackdown happened. So basically, they punish people without like changing the guidelines. Steam changed their guidelines when they did their removal. This did not have one. itch.io is also supposedly withholding outstanding payments from creators whose work was removed.
Oh,
no,
that's not good.
And then they stated in their response, our ability to process payments is critical for every creator on a platform. To ensure that we can continue to operate and provide a marketplace for all developers, we must prioritize our relationship with our payment partners and take immediate steps towards compliance. And then the last little bit is that apparently the night that this happened, the night of the 23rd, the owner of itch.io dropped a saluting emoji in his Discord at the time this happened and did not elaborate.
Jeez. Oh,
what a situation.
Yep. It basically, to sum it all up, is that Collective Shout has basically used MasterCard and Visa to just basically take down things off of these stores that they just did not want.
Yeah. And this has been a long running thing outside of video games too. Like they've had KFC commercials removed. They've had, like we said earlier, hip hop artists removed. They've had, movies targeted. Like this is all very based on how they want the world to be, regardless of what anybody else thinks. And it's hard because I don't disagree with all of it. Like they're at a base level, what they want isn't bad, right? It's, you know, they want to stop exploitation against women and children, but there's a lot. It's like we said earlier. It goes too far when it's censoring all art featuring anything mentioning these things.
Yeah, I'm actually on their website too, and like you can see the intent based off of the posts that they're doing, like because they're showing screenshots of games that they've targeted to be removed. And yeah, I can see why they'd want to remove these. Like these are these are exactly what you imagine, but it can definitely cause other games that are not this to be struck down as well. Well, I actually looked at because one that I thought of that is still up was The Coffin of Andy and Lele, because I remember when that game came out, there was a huge uproar about it because it's a game that features like cannibalism, incest. It's like a psychological dark horror game, right?
Yeah.
But people love the game because that's not what the message is trying to convey. It's actually a story about like someone saying like about a codependent abusive relationship. That's what this story is actually about. It's not about all this other stuff that's just in it. But that's something that would disappear due to this. Like you just would not be able to tell that story if it was targeted by this. And from how it sounds, like they totally can just say, remove this, strike thee, and then it's poof, gone, no more.
It's more so this whole situation is just scary that somebody can use their own personal moral and political beliefs to influence something for everyone through attacking the money.
Yep.
That's what the scary part is.
The thing is, online is, at least from my point of view, is that a payment provider should not have the morality to choose what I consume. They should only care if it's legal and that the person like can pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not looking at Visa like the moral barometer for the world. I don't know why they think that matters, honestly.
What does MasterCard think of this?
I think MasterCard's a good company. No, it's just giant loan sharks. Like, why would I feel
you don't have another choice because the duology, because that was what one of the original points of cryptocurrency, right? Was that it would be away from Visa and MasterCard, these payment providers being able to quote unquote police what you say or purchase and consume. Because I don't know if you read about this. I didn't get a chance to look into it, but there's apparently a bill in the House and Senate right now that will basically the like Fair Banking Act. I did not look enough into it, but it's basically stating that the purpose behind it is that basically MasterCard and Visa like won't be able to police what you buy. They're only going to be able to basically say, is it legal? And you have the funds to purchase it.
Yeah, it's saying, hey, if you're a big company worth over 10 billion, like you no longer get the option to say, no, you can't buy that because we don't want you to. Yeah,
because they're trying to get it classified as like utility, right? Like it's just a service. It
should be. Yeah, I have to choose I mean, I could go to like a credit union, but like most people are just going to go with the bank. And, you know, Bitcoin and cryptos are great, but it's just in flux too much. It's not stable enough to be a worthy choice outside of traditional banking.
Yeah. I feel like it's just silly. It doesn't accomplish anything, to be honest. It just
I mean, what it accomplishes is that this group gets rid of what they want.
And and it doesn't actually help anyone. Like,
well, it helps them.
It helps them. Like got what they want. They got what they wanted. They got these things removed.
And what I'm trying to say is this doesn't actually solve the real issue where, you know, rape simulators should not be a thing. Like, I don't think anyone's like, no, we should totally allow people to do that. Like, no, that's just gross.
Part of me, also has to ask the question, like, why do these get a platform in the first place?
Yeah,
Like, I don't quite.
you're right. And
As
what
much as I hate as much as I hate censorship, why is that shit on Steam?
you're right. And that's what I'm saying is that these are still available, that you can just buy them like on some other platform. There's so many other places that you can just get this that are, you know, actual like legal platforms to buy. I'm sure they're just somewhere else. Like, this doesn't actually accomplish anything for the goal of making these games unavailable to actually get. They're still out there just as easily. Where
Yeah, well, I guess the argument there is like, if it's less normalized, that means there's less of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's less incentive. If you're not going to make these horrible games, or less people will, and less people will be inclined to buy them if they're not showing up in like, well, this is where everybody gets their games, and well, there's also this weird horrible porn on there. I guess that's fine.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
if it's more obscure and it's limited and people look down on it, there's going to be less of it. You know, just based on numbers.
no, you're right. And like, I agree with the sentiment of like, yeah, this shouldn't be on Steam. Like, it's just gross. It shouldn't be anywhere. It's just the idea of having like MasterCard and Visa, just having power over them to decide like what you can buy. And then also just now they've proven that they can just point at something, and now that's just a no-go, is like,
Well,
Yeah, because
I mean, I was all
because the thing of that I view it is like, I may agree with what they're banning now. I may not agree with what they ban next.
exactly. And that's why I brought up like the coffin of Andy and Lele. Like, that is a game that meets this criteria in a way, but is not the same game at all. But it could totally just get poofed away.
Yeah, because like, they would want to ban anything that has incest. They would want to ban anything that depicts child abuse in any capacity, like just shows it. Anything that has violence against women, and like, just as you keep going, like, there's a ton of censorship that can happen here if you allow them.
That bicycle game with the fucking that you made me play, where the guy and his little kid on the back are trying to go, and you just get blown up by everything on the
Happy
way
Wheels?
for like humor.
Happy Wheels.
Happy Wheels. Happy Wheels would be gone. And Happy Wheels is great.
Happy Wheels.
Yeah, because the thing is like that, when we were talking about whether you asked like what the problem was, is like, we've already seen the slippery slope start, because it started with these incest games on Steam and immediately moved into just more general NSW things on itch in like 3 to 4 days.
Yeah.
So like, we are technically already on that sliding slope. So just whatever the MasterCard, Visa would be, decide, okay, we don't want you playing that. We're not going to allow you to sell it on your Steam store or your storefront anymore.
Yeah, I didn't read into it, but I know that like Nintendo also cleaned up their shop from a lot of the porn stuff. I want to say PlayStation Store did as well, but I could be wrong there. But like, it seems like it's all kind of hitting at once. Censorship in droves. And that, like I'm saying, that's the tough part, is I don't disagree entirely that I don't feel like these things should be there, but the other part of me is always like, art deserves to not be censored, even if it it's so
because it's
tough.
like, it doesn't agree. It doesn't, like, this thing agrees with, like, this band agrees with my morals, but the next band might not. Like, and that doesn't make, like, in someone else agreeing with the next band that I disagree with doesn't make my morals better or worse than theirs. So like, neither of us should have the choice to decide what the other person gets to consume, as long as that whatever they're consuming is legal and they could, like, you know, legally afford it.
I think back, my mom used to not let me listen to music with like explicit lyrics, and she'd always get on me about listening to hip hop, and like, she hated it. Like, I remember we were in the car and we were listening to Juvenile, and like, I was like 12 or something, sitting in the back seat, and she's like, you know, when he says back that ass up, he's saying back that ass up to my prick. And I was like, what the fuck? What do you, like, I guess. But then like later I had to explain to her, I was like, listen, you're a painter, right? Now imagine if somebody came and said, hey, you got to cover up all the like the lower half of the women's bodies that you paint. Like you just because it's in a different format doesn't make it not censorship.
Doesn't, yeah.
And it really took that, and she finally got it. She's like, okay, I guess, yeah, that's the way the art was expressed, and it's meant to be viewed that way. So that part of me is really like, yeah, it's just art. The other part of me is like, that's not art. You know, some of the stuff they're banning, like that's not art. That's just fetish bullshit. So it's a tough call for me. Like I don't know which side. I'm not completely okay. The reason, like the way that a company that has, you know, all the financial control can do it at their whim, I hate that. But I also hate, you know, rape games on Steam. So I'm kind of stuck with it's bad, but some of the outcomes not all bad, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, one other thing too, you brought up like that Ace Attorney style game, Trials of Innocence.
I believe that was it, right?
Yeah, they actually put out a notice. It was taken down off Steam due to a DMCA claim. So that was coincidental.
Okay. That was coincidental? Okay.
Yeah, as far as we know. So that's the official response from the developer as of July 17th. His DMCA claim is what caused him to remove it from the store.
Because all of the Steam censoring, I think, started on the 15th based on just people looking through the Steam database changes.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that it was also taken down because of it. Probably due to the name, and now sounds kind of sus.
The achievement, yeah.
But yeah, like I kind of, it's that thing where like I agree with the intent, but the method and the way that they're going about it is definitely not as agreeable.
Yeah, because I believe the huge problem with this whole thing, like Mastercard and Visa, is that, oh God, what was it? It's Visa got slammed for something because they basically allowed a transaction on some like illegal content, I think, or something that wasn't legal, and they basically got a lawsuit because of it that they couldn't get out of because they processed it.
Yeah, that makes sense why they'd be more careful and just kind of nod their head yes at this then.
Well, I want to know what other people think. Like where because look, I went and looked up some stuff on this on YouTube. Like those fucking chud gamers are all up in this. Like it's like they're less about the censorship and more about like
I need my gooner games.
Shit.
I need my
they're
gooner
trying to
games.
yeah, they're really gross. They're like feminists are trying to get us gamers again. We need to rise up. And it's like, just no, be a human. Stop being weird.
No, like I said, if you go onto the like their website and see the games that they're trying to get rid of, it totally makes sense. And like these are like games that just simulate like that just let you do the act.
Games.
And that's they're not video games. Like these are just gross. And that's what it should stick to. But with this, you just never know like what they're going to point their finger at next and just try to get rid of. Like that's the main problem. Is the slippery slope of like where does it end? Because they'll keep trying to get their easy wins.
Ban more and more adult games till they have everything banned.
Yeah,
until they and those like then, you said, bleed from adult into mature into, you know, I don't even know, teen. Like it'll start if they could have their way, we'd all be playing. Even Mario might be too much. We'd all
it would lead to
like,
very sanitized games.
I think they even went after Animal Crossing because there was some weird meme.
It's because of the zone meme, the Annika zone meme. They hated in 2022. Zones.
I don't know what that is.
It's a character.
Should I Google it?
It was an adult animation that the creator's Zone made, and that became a meme because of the dance that happens at the beginning of it became a meme that a bunch of characters were redrawn doing.
Let me pull up DuckDuckGo real quick. Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Is this cat dancing in some way? I don't know. I don't particularly care either. This looks like some dumb shit that I just don't care about. But yeah, to go after like Animal Crossing because of because of like something players did, not even the game. if I understand it correctly.
Yeah, because it was a creation by a prolific R18 illustrator / animator.
Yeah, and that's not the game's fault. It's got nothing to do with the game, honestly.
Which became a meme to just have other characters dancing the same dance.
Gotcha.
You've probably seen it before. You just don't recognize what it was.
Maybe. I don't know.
I've
seen a lot of stuff.
You've seen a lot of stuff, yes, but also it was all over like TikTok, Reddit, various social media platforms.
Oh, join us in the soup. I've seen a lot of stuff. That fucked me up last night. Sorry, that's neither here nor there. So did we have any other opinions on it? Because we're getting a little long in the tooth here.
No,
I think that's it.
I've gone over all the information. I've summarized my views. So I'm good.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you very much for going into that. I didn't go as hard as you, so I'm glad you had all that information. And thank you, Lionel, for your D&D. We went from D&D into content warning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is funny because that's how some D&D campaigns go, according to what I've been listening to.
Oh my gosh. Why? Like those stories are like, I can't even believe. Like, it's so hard to believe that that's real, but also I can't believe that that's not happened before. You know what I mean? Like
I could never imagine sitting at a table with a bunch of people and two of them just start role-playing sex. Like, in the middle of me rolling dice, I'm like, they're like, and I'm, that's so cringe.
When you were clapping cheeks, I was rolling the dice.
I rage.
Anyway. All right. Well, I think that's our time for today. I'm gonna slap a content warning on this one.
Yeah.
Just because we definitely said a couple words a lot, and some people might not be into that. So, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Go ahead and hit up Apple or Spotify and leave us a 5-star and a comment, because we try to, we could just come on here and do headlines and like kind of go over information, but I feel like we've gotten into this thing where we're really trying to like understand what we're talking about to the best of our abilities. And I hope we can kind of translate that to anybody listening. I hope you guys get a better understanding of what we're going into. I've learned more doing this about the video game industry than I did in 30 years of playing video games. So
yeah, I feel pretty smart, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I feel like I could have worked at Blizzard for 8 years.
God damn it, 20 dude. You said you were going to avoid it.
If you have any questions or comments, please send them to giantenemycrabpod@gmail.com. If you have any thoughts on this censorship, please tell us in the comments. I'd love to read what's going on. Like, what are your thoughts on this? With that, we will catch you next week. I think I might try play Heartbound. I might have to get it. I got Heartbound, so I might have to get you guys with me, and we'll see what the fuss is all about. So I'm fully engaged on the information I keep receiving unwarranted.
I'm ready. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready too. We'll catch y'all next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Later.